Alright, we're out here picking up one of the trucks we bought. It is a 1996 F250 extended cab long bed full drive. It's a gas truck, but man, look at the frame on this thing. The bottoms of these doors are like new. There's no rust in the rockers. Cab corners are good. Look at the underneath of this truck. Incredible. The bed's in nice shape. No rot in the bed. Wheel wells are good. Now it's got some scratches and dents, but it is a power option truck. Be careful of that. It's got AC. I doubt it works, but trailer brake controller, 4-wheel drive. 40 seats, is that what that is? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyways, we've been looking for a truck like this for quite a while. And somebody's got plans for this truck. It's a 460 gas. Someone put a gas pump. Yeah. I mean, it was crazy how much money they spent doing this. Let's see. There's what they spent putting the motor in. $5,763. And that was, what's the date on that? That was in February of 2017, and they, at 209,000 miles, they replaced engine with a reman Jasper. Came with the paperwork. So now what we need to do, we need to get her loaded up on the truck. And I'm by myself, so I'm gonna do this gentle-like, and I really can't be on the camera. Give it a little bump, get over my ramps. There we go. Alright, now I need to open the door so I can see what I'm doing. Such a clean truck, man. I mean, so clean. I had to pay a little bit more than I wanted to for it, but that's okay. This is a plug for their camper, which is what these brackets are right here. This is for the airbags that they added. But let's get this thing strapped down and get her back home. I like a forward tie system from the axles. I like to pull forward and back. I use one chain, wrap it around, hook it on itself, and leave the slack lay so I don't have to use two chains or cut them down. But we are ready to go. I think we're ready to head back home. Let's get on the road. Ooh, I see something we'll be changing. Getting rid of that. I don't really care for those. Let's get going. Well, I made it back. No troubles at all. Alright, so let's talk about the plans for this truck. Brandon has a truck similar to this. I can't believe how good and smooth that thing runs. I mean, it should. It's only got 4,000 miles on this motor, but it has no exhaust leaks. Transmission goes right into gear. Four-wheel drive seems to go in easy. You know, just a pretty good old truck. But anyways, the plan for this truck is, Brandon doesn't want a 460. He would rather it be diesel. Now, my thought was, if you're going to swap it over to diesel, why put a 7.3 in it? Why not put a 6.7 Cummins or 24 valve Cummins or something similar? Something better than a 7.3. But he thinks he wants to go to 7.3, so let's go show you the 7.3. Alright, so we're going to take this truck for a ride, see how it is, and kind of listen to what we got going on. Looks like we got a ball joint stabilizer link on this side making noise. It's not going to affect us if that's what it is, because we're changing the axle out. We haven't cleaned the truck up yet. My wife's been kind of busy, but you can see what I mean. We need the steering wheel from the other one. It's kind of beat up. It rides a lot better than Brandon's standard cab. That extra extended cab on here, you know, lengthen that wheelbase out, helps out quite a bit. Charge is good, got a good oil pressure. I got in it this morning and I hit the key, turned the key on and everything turned on, and then I went to hit to crank it, and turned the ignition switch a little farther and I got nothing. So I had loose battery connections. Someone's put aftermarket battery ends on, battery clamps, and they were loose. Those things never work well. I like to just get the ones that you solder in. I like those real well. Still a rough road, but man, it's doing pretty well for steering. I mean, I'm barely touching the wheel, so it's not too bad. So whatever that clunk is, it may not be a big deal. All the tires were wearing pretty good, but I want to see what it does. At 60, I want to try the cruise control. We know the air conditioning doesn't work. Tilt wheel works. I'm always leery about the front and rear tank switch valve. Those things are notorious to not work. Or one tank will have a hole in it and you'll switch tanks and you'll be either, they don't use that one, it's full of rust, you suck it up, or you switch it and it's empty, and then you go to switch it back and you can't get back to the front tank. So I'm always very, very leery of them. I never try that anywhere but at home. But decent truck. I mean, that pad's kind of split up a little bit, but he's got a good dash pad, his other truck. Headliner's okay. I think my wife can get that clean. Carpet, I don't know. That's probably coffee. My wife's pretty good at getting coffee out. But, man, I didn't check the lights to make sure turn signals and all that stuff worked. Man, I should do that. You know what? I'm going to do that before I get on the highway. Alright, we got turn signals and four-ways and parking lights and headlights and low beams and high beams and that kind of stuff. So, I'm going to get on the highway here. Alright, we're doing 60. Feels pretty good. I like to get in a curve and then go left and right and listen for bearing noise, because these are those inner and outer bearings on the front hubs with axle joints. I like to get up to speed and see if the cruise control works. Oh, cruise control works. Fantastic. I mean, I know it's not really a big deal, but see if it shuts off with a brake. Yep, sure does. Cancels on with the brake pedal. And let's see, we'll go back to resume. Resume works. Good deal. I'll turn it off now. I don't need it, but really what I'm after is listening for noise like rear end growl, you know, anything weird in the front end or vibrations or stuff like that, because I want to know what we're starting with, because we know what his truck is. You know, his truck ran and drove very well. This truck's got 213,000 on it, so this motor's got 4,000 miles on it, we figured. About 4,000, something like that. I can't recall now, but yeah, it was 209 when they put it in, I believe. But runs and drives pretty good. Got just a little bit of loose steering. Not enough. I mean, just enough to notice that there may be something loose on the front end, or just maybe the tires. We'll have to look at that. But I want to make sure I keep an eye on the temperature, the oil pressure, and charging, and all that. But it's empty. I got a gas can. I put gas in it this morning out of our gas can. I had a 5-gallon can, and I put about half of it in here. That's how low it was. And I got the rest of the gas can, the other 2.5 gallons, in the bed of the truck. So I'm headed out in my test drive to the gas station, which is about 6 miles away. So that's a good place. And if something happens, we break down, then it's not too far for my wife to come get me or something. I go get the Freightliner and bring her home. But seems to be doing okay. I like to do this, test drive deal before we get involved cleaning it or whatever. And this is a project for Brandon. We've been looking for one of these for quite a while. I'd venture to say a couple years. I mean, not like adamantly every day I'm looking for one, but when I think of it, I would look and see what I could find. And like I said, said before, I paid a little bit more for this than I really wanted to. I mean, Brandon's still okay with it. And if he wasn't, then I would sell the truck and move on if he didn't want to have that much invested. It's really not a big deal. Anyways, I'm going to get up on the highway here. This is a state route. I'm going to get on the highway and get her up to about 70, 75, make sure we ain't got anything goofy going on. Of course, I looked at all the tires ahead of time, and, I looked underneath it to make sure we didn't have anything coming loose, because you never know when you're buying something used. You just never know what you can get into. So, anyways, I'll get some miles on it, and I'll bring you back. I just had to come up to a stoplight and had to get on the other state route here, and I was just amazed. The brake pedal is high and hard. It was smooth, and I'm taking off again. The transmission shifts very, very well. I'm really, really happy with this truck so far. It's almost like I kind of hate to take it apart. It runs so good. It runs so smooth. The exhaust is quiet. I mean, this is a good work truck. I mean, it's got 200-some thousand miles on it. I don't have any clue what, how old the transmission is or how many miles on it, but guaranteed it's not original, because it would these transmissions, which is an E4OD, typically never made it more than like 80, 90, 100,000 miles. I mean, most of them in a work truck situation towing, they failed way before that. So I don't know what it is. Well, I guess we'll have to see. But I'm very pleased. Not too bad at all. I mean, I haven't gone a lot of miles since I just shut the camera off, but just taking off and coming to a stop, I was very, very pleased. And I'm always looking for that. I'm looking and listening for all the stuff. I don't care about radios. The air conditioning doesn't work. It's not, it blows, but it's not charged. I put my gauges on it, and it had such a very, very minimal charge in it that there's no way it would ever turn on the compressor. But anyhow, not bad at all. So this is Brandon's other truck. This was his first diesel. It's a 96 F250 Power Stroke, 1 ton. This one's got the solid axle. The gray one has the split I-beam. It's been sitting for quite a few years now. It was his first diesel, and he quit driving it when he got the other one. The other one was a crew cab short bed, which is what he really liked, and he didn't want to keep placing insurance on 2 of them, so he parked this one. And the body had some rust then, and it's just been getting worse. We had put these tires on. These are those Falcon Wild Peak. I'm gonna tell you, I would never, ever, ever buy these tires again. He didn't get hardly any miles out of this thing, and he didn't do any towing. They wore fast. But anyways, this one's a 7.3 Power Stroke, and it ran and drove very well. There was no issues with it. It has power locks, power windows, dual tanks, tilt wheel, cruise control, air conditioning, 4-wheel drive. He put a stereo in it. It's got I don't know what these are, if they're 40-20-40s or how they figure these seats, but it had power lumbar, not power. The gray one has full power seats. But anyways, that's what he wants to do. He wants to take the driveline out of this one and stick it in the other one. We'll probably have to have a drive shaft work done, but that's okay. And it'll just be part of it. There'll be some upgrades on the Power Stroke before we put it in. we'll do some upgrades to the motor before we put it in. But it's been parked for quite a while, so oil leaks and up pipes and anything like that we'll try and get taken care of before we put it in. Ideally, he'd prefer to have a manual transmission, but I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're just going to do a quick swap over and be done so he can get to driving it. I'm going to start driving the other one, the gray one, for a little while so we can find out what does work and what doesn't work, so we know all the issues before we get going. And you know, once we're satisfied that we know what's going on with the other truck, then we'll tear the two apart. This one will take the cab off and pull motor, transmission, transfer cases, one unit, and probably the same thing on the other one. But that's the plans. That's where we're going with it, guys. If you guys like what we're doing, give us that thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, leave your comments down below, and we'll catch you on the next one.